Go ahead.
Yes, the basic of drip irrigation are related to two main things. One is filtration, because basically you are running now water to very tiny holes, basically. So now the fact that you don't have any 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 filtration doesn't mean that you don't need that for drip. That's the main thing. And the second thing is pressure, that you need to run that drip tape at no more than 10 to 11 pounds. So those two main concepts have to be adapted to this section here, because that's what you are lacking of. Other than that, you have enough pressure, you have piping sub-main. It's very simple. The runs are very short. The drip tape usually can run up to 303 feet, from 300 to 400 feet long every bed. So these
These are 100 feet.
Feet, right?
Yep.
So this is going to be very simple to do, and the advantage of the drip tape is very inexpensive, and you can get that by either the size of the tape, the spacing of the emitter itself, and the flow that you may have. So there's multiple options that you can get, are very inexpensive.
Now, do we do a closed system or
No.
a dead end?
Yeah, you do one row and you close it, and you can do, and that's the other thing, because by, again, the fact that you're going to be watering or sending water to the plant through a very tiny hole, you need to doing a lot of maintenance. I'm going to give you what we call an owner's manual, which is a book that you can read about, and it's a very good information, how to maintenance, how to inject, how to a lot of different things, how you can schedule your watering. So every information that you may want to do and how to run low volume irrigation is in that book I'm going to give you.
Okay. Now, so each manifold will run, say, 10 beds.
Yes.
And so we pretty much want to have like water-loving plants all on these like 10 beds. We don't want something that'll drown like an onion
No.
or something
No.
with pepper that's gonna suck it up. So
The more
planting
important
is
thing,
important.
how many sections you can open will depend on the size of this sub, and that's what I was asking you, because depending on the size of the pipe is the amount of water that you can move to the system. So more likely with a 2-inch pipe, if you have 2-inch pipe, more likely you will be able to open this whole block at once, the whole block with drip irrigation. And in that book I'm going to give you, it will give you an idea for how long you should be running that tape. And usually there's many ways to do it, but if you have a dedicated clock that can do pulsing.
Pulsing? Well, I'll show you what we got over there.
Good. Or because what you want to do, instead of having 2 or 3 or 4 hours running water, you can just, depending on how the weather is, how many rain you have, you can, it may be cases where you don't need to water because it's very wet, but you are going to be injecting something. So you want to use the system to inject chemicals, not just to water, because it may be wet enough. And if so, you can do pulsing. Pulsing means that you're going to be watering the system for 50 minutes, turn it off, and in 2 hours, 50 minutes more, and turn it off, and so on. And a dedicated clock that can do that will be ideal for you. So the whole thing runs, and you don't have to do a thing. Very important. Going back to the small tiny holes that you're having, maintenance is clue here. When you have sprinklers, impact sprinklers, you do zero maintenance basically on this. With this, you need to be checking because you're going to be doing a lot of manual things like moving plants and things, and you may be breaking the tape. But there are couplers. There are very simple thing. You just cut them. There's a coupler. I'm going to show you the tape and show you the coupler. It's very simple thing to do. But you need to be checking on that, because if you don't do that and you just rely on the clock, rely everything's going to be fine, and you don't walk through, you may have a leakage, and you will never see that until the plant is dying.
Yeah, you see, there'll be a flood there, and nobody else will get water.
Exactly. So there are many ways to do that, but basically the most simple one is walking through, flushing the lines, checking pressures, because if you have a drop of pressure, you know something's going on. And what you can do is have different gauge ports where you can be having it like a gauge and checking pressure on different areas, and you know, okay, so if I need to have 10 pounds here, at the end I should not be getting less than 9, for instance. So if I'm getting 2, oh, something's going on, and so on. So it's very simple, but it's because you are switching from sprinkler to drip, it's a different mentality. You need to be walking through, because here you can tell, oh, it's very simple. Everything's going good. I can see all my sprinklers, but with drip, you need to be walking through the aisles.
Okay. And what about plastic or bare ground? Does it make a difference?
Ideally, you would like to go to do plastic with the plastic molds, actually. And Toro is just launching now. It's interesting that you asked me for, because Toro is just launching a recycle program that will help if you're able to gather with other growers. Once you are done with the plastic and the drip tape, we'll be able to, this company that we can hook up you on, will be able to pick up that garbage and take that out from your field, and they are going to recycle that on like a trash can thing, whatever, in another industry. But ideally, yes, when you are doing row crops like this, ideally you want to use plastic. You want to raise the beds as much as you can. This area is slightly lower than other areas, so you need to be careful. The higher you raise all those beds, the better for you. And then try to do plastic. With plastic is another issue, because again, if you have an issue with the drip tape, you will not be able to see that.
Right.
Because the only way you can see that is by checking the tape. If the tape is hard, you say, okay, I have enough pressure, there's nothing going on, or you're otherwise, if you have a leakage, you will not be able to see that.
How do you check the pressure at the end?
There is a fitting that you can do, and basically you can adapt a pressure gauge to a fitting. It's very simple. I'll show you another thing.
Because you either fold over the ends or you put a cap on the end, right?
You can do a cap, and with that cap you can adapt a pressure gauge.
Gotcha.
Basically, I'm going to show you. It's very simple. You can get that.
Do you have to do that for each? Say there's 3 tapes in this one bed.
What I would do, I will close everything and just have one adapter in the middle for every section, just because every should be fine, and you will very quickly learn, oh yeah, by touching the tape, everything is fine, fine, there's no leakage.
Squeeze test.
It's very simple to do.
And will we be able to change, say this row here, if we want to go with 3 this year, you know, for the peppers or whatever.
But 3 tape with 3 rows?
three tapes going down this one row. But next year we're only doing tomatoes going down the row, so we only need 1. Can we take off the 3?
That's a very good question, and that's why when we are, and I'm not a designer, so I'm going to give you just a basic layout. There's people that can do this for you. But when you do a layout or a simple design, you plan on the maximum amount of water that you can take, meaning how much is the maximum that you can have on any given bed. Or 3 rows, you design based on that. So you go, okay, so this is the maximum water I can handle, so let me see how many sections I can open at the same time. Once you have that, it's very easy. You just close here, close there.
Well, okay, what I'm saying, so we got the manifold coming off here. This manifold, there's going to be a trunk coming down here, a big T trunk coming down here.
Right.
Now, from here, do we make another T for 3?
No.
Or do we punch 3 holes in the trunk?
Yeah.
But next year, I only want 1 in this row.
You can just plug it.
So you just plug up the holes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, a bed like this, usually, with like the way it is now, you can lay just 1 tape between plants, between these rows, and this is that, and that will be enough.
Okay.
And so basically what you have now, most of what you have now one tape row for each bed should be enough. But if you need to change that, there's plugs, and the best way to do that is by having what we call oval holes, a round holes that is flexible. It's oval, but when it gets pressurized, I'm going to show you an example. It gets round, and what you do, you just make a hole, put the fitting, and when you don't need the fitting, you just pull the fitting, pull the plug, and go
There you go. Okay.
or you just leave the fitting and cap the fitting with a cap and done there.
Okay. All right. Let's show you